The 22nd. Today is such a big day, whether I want it to be or not. It's crazy, but like it's a big day. This isn't an anniversary. It's my cancerversary. My cancerversary when I was hospitalized with stage 4 lymphoma in 2024. Um, so yeah, hang on. I'm trying to get my TikTok open. So if you are watching live, please join me and say hello so I know you're here. Um, I'm waiting to see. Okay. Hey, Cardamancy, how are you? Uh-oh, hold on. Yeah, I'm learning how to actually get TikTok to cooperate with me so I can see comments. Andy, what's up? Oh, my connection is great. So they've switched me to a higher thing. Why is my light blinking in the background? Let's figure that out. How are you, Cardamancy? You guys say hello. Wherever you're watching from, please say hello. Let me know what's going on. How's your Wednesday? I've been having so much fun today. It feels illegal to have as much fun as I'm actually having today. I don't know why. Okay, are you gonna hold there? Let's turn the volume down a little bit. Can you guys see okay? Hear okay? Are we good? Can you guys hear okay? I just want to make sure because I had to turn all my equipment on and my computer's been busting a move. Why? Why are you changing? I want you to just hold. Whoa. I'm trying to get my lighting in the background. Like it's doing weird things. Weird things. You guys on TikTok can't see the lighting. Okay. Did you guys watch my videos? I was on a posting freaking frenzy today on all the platforms. Um and oh my god. Some people would be like, "Are you really sure you're 59 years old?" Yes, I am sure. I'm actually getting close to being 59 and a half years old. Milo, go get in your bed. I brought a new bed in for Milo, but because I keep going, go lay down. Go. Go to your bed. There he is. He likes to be on the camera. I just brought in Penny's old cot. So I brought it in for Milo. Look at his pretty face. You guys get to see Milo now because he's off the floor. And I think he's a little more comfortable because he's 11. So he's probably older than me. Yeah, he's older than me, 77 years old in dog years. Poor Milo. I was like, what are you doing? Every time I go out into the house to go to the bathroom or whatever, I'm like, stay. Because I don't want him to have to walk in and go up the deck steps and then come back out. Anywho, all right, let me move my mic away because I'm a little fried today. So lots of things have been happening today. I don't know how many of you guys remember or followed me back in 2024. I wasn't on TikTok in 2024, but I was on Facebook and YouTube. I mean, I've been on there forever. Um, but this day, April 22nd, 2022, I gave in and let my dad take me to the emergency room. I'm very stubborn about going to the doctor. I did not have insurance. Um, nor have I, nor did I for like 25, 20, yeah, 20, probably 27, 28 years. I didn't have insurance. This light is just going to keep messing with me. I'm just going to have to turn it off because it's bugging me. Like every time I turn around, something's happening with it. Like what's happening here? I don't know why it's like changing colors. I just charged it. Strange. Anywho, so I knew people asked me, like, did you not know you had cancer? No, I knew. I knew. I knew I was sick. in 2022. I knew something was wrong. I could feel the lump. It was just a little walnut that big. And I continued working and ignoring it like I do so many other things when it comes to my own health. And while I take care of everybody else, one of my probably not strong suits. Um, and I continued until 2023, um, trying all kinds of natural things that have worked before in the past for me that did not work that time. And the tumor became very large. So here's one of the ways I knew it was cancer, because I've dealt with stuff like this before. When I pushed on the tumor, A, it hurt, and B, it had its own pulse, which you're not supposed to have. Your stomach shouldn't have a pulse. Like, but if there's blood flow to it, blood supply to it, you actually end up with a pulse. So that's how I knew. And I went to lots of natural practitioners to try and help me, and I went to ozone therapy. I did all kinds of stuff. Literally January 2024, actually it was New Year's Eve, me and my daughter and her husband, because they knew I was hurting bad. They drove with me to Colorado from Texas to my old colonics therapist, and I got ozone therapy because she's the only one that I knew that did it. And ozone's not something you can get done in Texas. So we went to Colorado in the middle of the snow. And that was a very uncomfortable trip because the tumor by then was pretty big. Not quite as big as it got when I got hospitalized on April 22nd, 24, but it was still big. Like, I was having problems eating. By the time I was hospitalized, I literally was eating only a tablespoon of food a day, because just that little about amount of food, and it was not in my intestines, just to be clear. Like, the tumor wasn't in my intestines. And for those coming in on TikTok, welcome in. And those of you, hey, Deborah, you remember that time I went to the ER? I think everyone on Facebook that were my friends were like shocked. Everyone was shocked. They're like, what? You're in the hospital? So, yeah. Um, by the time I got to the hospital, I had only been eating like a tablespoon of food. I was using my TENS unit for 2 days straight because the pain in my kidneys and my back was so bad. And I was bound and determined not to go to the hospital without insurance. And I'm like, "Oh god, come on, help me." And finally, after 2 days of not being able to sleep, having to stay in a hot bath, not being able to eat, and then, I was having a hard time just going to the bathroom, like urinating, forget about anything else. Nothing else was coming out. I mean, I was doing enemas. I was doing all kinds of crazy things just to keep my body going. I don't know how I did it. I honestly don't know how. As sick as I was, it's so funny when they got me into the ER and they did my MRI and my CAT scan and then the biopsy. They're like, "Did you not know you had a tumor?" And I'm like, "No, no, I knew." They're like, "How have you been living like this?" Because it was literally the size of a full-grown fetus on one side of my abdomen. It was crazy. It was crazy, like, how big it was. And they're like, "Why did you wait? I don't have insurance." And they're like, "We have indigent programs for this kind of thing." Because I was like, "I just wanna go home." I was, like, ready to go home and just die in peace. Just leave me alone. We don't have the money for this. Any of you guys ever felt like that? When you know you're sick and you should go to the ER? Have any of you guys ever had to make that choice? It's a hard choice, you know? It was a hard choice. My dad was begging me, "Please, please," for 2 days, and I was like, "I don't know. I can't go. I don't have insurance." And he's like, "I'll pay for it." I'm like, "You don't need to clean it." So when they wanted to hospitalize me, and they hospitalized me right away because I had, to get a stent put into my kidney because the tumor had gotten so big, it was crushing my kidney, and the my like, I couldn't go to the bathroom, just like Should I say freeze frame? What's freeze frame? What's freeze frame? Many times, cartomancy, I know you have. And the thing is people like us, cartomancy, people like us that have really high pain thresholds, it's even worse. Like, I have really naturally low blood pressure, right? Like, I just have always had really good blood pressure. When I was in the emergency room, my blood pressure was up to 174, and apparently it had been like that for days, and the only time my blood pressure goes up is if I'm in extreme pain, and when I was hospitalized, I was absolutely in extreme pain, like, um but it's worse because we do have high pain thresholds. So we can kinda ignore or deny how bad something is before we actually go and take care of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure those of you who have high pain thresholds know what I'm talking about. Cardamancy, I know you know what I'm talking about, girl. So, that's where I was. Right? You too. I know you. I know you do. Yeah, it's crazy. So we put up with a lot. Meanwhile, my family's like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And they kept asking me to do something earlier, months and months before this. Um, but like I said, I went in January on New Year's to Colorado to get colon hydrotherapy done from the therapist that I used to share an office with when I was doing health practitioner stuff in Durango, Colorado. So it was a long trip. It was a long, long trip when you can't eat and your stomach hurts and you're going back home where you used to live and it was crazy. Anyhow, yeah, so 2022 or 2024, that day on the 22nd, 2 years ago exactly today, they admitted me to the hospital and did not start chemo or anything right away. They immediately diagnosed me with stage 4 lymphoma, and they did a biopsy, in the ER. They did a bunch of things in the ER. They did an MRI, they did a CAT scan, they did a biopsy to confirm that it was in fact cancer, and the doctor was so freaking cold. He just walks in and he goes, "You have lymphoma, stage 4." Like, no preface, no, like, this might come as a shock. I was not expecting stage 4 lymphoma. I mean, I knew it's cancer, but you how do you deliver news like that to someone and just be like, "You have" like, who does that? Doctors need to learn some bedside flipping manners when they deliver news like that, and I was like, I need they don't have any bedside manners, right? Like, I need a minute before you admit me into the hospital for a flipping week. And then they wanted to immediately schedule surgery with the urologist who I ended up totally disliking. That ended up costing even more. Mind you, I did not have insurance. So while they did allow me to get on the indigent program for some of this stuff, the indigent program doesn't cover everything and it doesn't cover the doctors and it doesn't cover medication. Like, it doesn't cover a lot of shit. So I knew, like, this is gonna cost me a fortune, and for those of you who were with me back then that donated to the GoFundMe that my daughter set up, y'all saved my life. I don't know if you really know how hard it was for me to let her set that GoFundMe up. For any of you that have donated to other people's GoFundMes and you've seen stuff like this come by, like, it's a hard thing to ask other people to care enough about you to donate to save your life. Weird as that sounds. I've donated to plenty of them. I still do, but like for me myself, it was a hard ask. My daughter's like, "Mom, like you don't literally they're telling you have cancer, stage 4. Like you're being hospitalized. They're going to they got to do what they got to do." And in the month of April, I was hospitalized. Well, from April to May to Mother's Day weekend, I was hospitalized a second time during Mother's Day weekend because there were complications from the stent they put in, and my condition was going downhill really fast, and they didn't think I was going to make it through the weekend. And the oncologist, my insurance that I did end up getting didn't kick in till June 1st. The oncologist was like, "I can't help you until your insurance kicks in, but go to the ER if you're on the indigent program, they will help you. Um, we can't wait." She's like, "I don't think you're gonna last until June 1st." And that was hard to hear. When you have to hear stuff like the conversations that I had to endure, and I had to make a decision, do you wanna live? And I always said, like, I'm never gonna go through chemo or radiation, and then I have to go back on a belief, which is one of the reasons, like, I try and tell people all the time, we all have beliefs, but sometimes your beliefs aren't worth dying for. And that's not just about things like cancer. We're talking everything. Hospitals suing you? It's like, good luck. Yeah, what are you gonna take? Like, you're spending your own money on lawyers. The world we live in with capitalism it just never ceases to amaze me the amount of greed this country is built upon. And that's the thing that's shifting and changing, even though it's not yet, it will. So, Cartomancy, I hear you and I'm with you, girlfriend. Like, it's a rough thing in the world that we live in right now, but it will change, you know. Anywho, yeah. So it is my cancerversary today. Um, the beginning of a long, long, I swear, 16-month battle to save my life. I went through one of the most aggressive, hardcore chemotherapy regimens called Pola R-CHOP. I lost all my hair. I was bald. I barely had any eyebrows. All the hair on my body fell off. I have not gotten back my underarm hair, my leg hairs, which I'm grateful for. Don't need them. My hair came back in and it came in black. At 59, I can't complain. I have a few grays, but no more than I had before. And today's the first day that I actually was able to put my hair in a ponytail. So I was celebrating that, made a video about that. But then there's so much else going on. I was like making a ton of videos and going out with a lot of stuff. The racism that I have endured on TikTok has been insane lately. The last couple of weeks, I made a video. You guys saw my video about the plastics and the cost of food going up, and we got 2 weeks before those prices hit the store. I have proof that the prices have hit the store as of today. I went to Costco 2 weeks ago and bought, um, God, how many were there? 12 6 packs of sardines, not the sardines that I like, the Wild Planet, because I was doing a sardine fast and I'm still doing sardines, just not on a fast. So I was stocking up A and B. I wanted to get them before the price went up. Like I said, I made that video, right? The price I paid 2 weeks ago for that specific sardine was $11.99. I returned them today and then went and bought the kind that I like because they got them back in. They were out of them when I went 2 weeks ago. And I bought the however many, I think I bought 15 packs of them today because I'm going through like 4 cans a day when I'm not eating anything else but sardines. If you guys want to know about what that's all about, literally, that has helped me lose 9 pounds in the last 2 weeks. And I'm kind of plateaued right now, which no big deal. I don't mind. At least I'm not going up. Anywho, so from 2 weeks ago until today, it was $11.99. It is now $13.99. Now, these are the shitty tasting sardines they have for $13.99 for a 6 pack. Where the ones I get, Wild Planet at Costco, are $10.99. That price hasn't changed. But in 2 weeks, it went up $2. So for all the naysayers that are like, "Oh, the prices aren't gonna go up here. There's not gonna be any shortages. It's not gonna affect us. The whole oil thing caused by the war in Iran, blah, blah, blah." People left me comments that were like, "I'm coming back in 2 weeks." Over 1,000 people saved that video. I don't know if they want to come back and be like, "Gotcha." No, got you. So let me explain that for a minute to whoever's watching. We are like frogs in a slow boil pot of water right now when it comes to what's happening. You guys get that? Put it in the comments if you understand what I mean by we are like frogs in a boiling pot of water that hasn't come to a boil yet. Okay. Hey, Brenda, what's up? It's things like this where, I mean, I got hundreds of comments going, I've been here in 2 weeks for 2 years. I've been hearing this since COVID. Yada, 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 yada. Asana. Yeah. We're in the like live frogs put in a pot of water. They don't know that they're cooked. They don't know that in a little bit that water's going to get to the point where it kills them. It's finally going to affect them. And that is what is being done to us systematically with the prices. We're in this boiling pot of water. The thing everyone's focused on is the gas prices. But you literally start to see 2 weeks, the cost of sardines went up $2. $2. That's not the only thing that's gone up. Y'all know since pre-COVID, the cost of a case of toilet paper at Costco has skyrocketed. I just paid $32 2 weeks ago for a case of toilet paper. And I didn't even stock up. I just got what I need, what I normally get. One pack, one case, $32. Y'all, laundry soap. Oh my God. Like $25. Like, what the fuck is happening here? But that's the thing is they put us in this pot of water and they slowly turn the heat up until all of a sudden that $2 turned into $10 for what you already were paying $10 for. And now one item for $20. So many people can't afford that. Boiling frogs. And by then, the people that were naysayers and saying, "Oh, you're fear mongering. Oh my God, it's never going to happen here." They're the ones that are going to be the loudest crybabies, just like Tucker Carlson right now. Is that his name? I always want to call him Trucker. Tucker Carlson right now. We apologize. We're sorry. Yeah, I promoted Trump and look at how he's destroying our country. I'm sorry. That's not good enough. And you've had literally what? 16 months to come to the same conclusion? We all tried to tell you. Kamala Harris tried to tell you. We learned the first time, and those of us who never voted for this person knew pre first term. We knew from his casinos going bankrupt. We knew from all the other BS he did how corrupt he was. And they're all like waking up to the fact, like, I don't know what happened. He lied to us. He's a liar. Did you think that was going to change? Did you honestly think that if you put him in office a second time after he created the January 6th event, insurrection, that he was going to come back a second term and be all A-okay? Narcissists don't change. Psychopaths don't change. Like, so when I hear the whole MAGA people coming back now and they're like, we're sorry. We have to apologize. It's not good enough. Too late. And apologizing's not going to fix this. Like, y'all need to be just as loud, if not 10 times louder, than you were when you put this fool in the position to steal our taxpayer money, to start a war and put our kids at risk, to drive up the cost of pretty much everything for all of us, to the point where so many people can't afford it, to take away affordable healthcare on every level. Like, should I go on? Because there's so many things, aside from haven't even touched yet, on these BS lying policies on immigration that had nothing to do with immigration from the beginning. If you agree, put an amen in the comments. If you think it's like, yeah, I don't agree, that's fine too. You don't have to agree. Facts are facts, though. Just saying. You can't fight with the facts. But these people keep wanting to fight the facts. They want to fight me on the facts. I'm like, you can't. Well, I guess you can if you want to be delusional. Like, is it just me? But do you think there's a whole bunch of people that are still in Deluluville, even though the job numbers are a joke? I got one amen. I got one amen. Come on. Nothing but early Republican ads for the midterms, and they're running on the same old shit. That just like for real. Like for real. When is it gonna end? When is the insanity gonna end? Thank you for the amen, Mr. Pat. Like seriously. I don't know anymore. You know? The days like today or this week, and I've been working really hard, which I'll show you guys. I'm making something for everybody, and it's gonna be free. It's gonna be free. One of the things is gonna be free, and it's super cool. I'll share with you what that is, and yeah. And Andy, I don't know where Andy went. I was hoping Andy would join us on live, but my daughter lives near San Antonio. I don't know how she's doing without her low cost healthcare. Amen. Thank you, Muse. You voted for him too, though, right? Like, do you realize what a mistake? I think you put a comment that you realize, and I get it. Like, I'm not here to shame anybody. Like, I get it. I get people wanted to believe in the lies, so they did vote for him. The thing that most people didn't realize was that all the stuff he even said about immigrations and the criminals and blah, 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 and all the things he was going to do, it was never about the things he said it was about. It was always lies. It was always lies. And liars don't tend to change all of a sudden overnight and tell the truth, not when they have something to protect. And look, he's like class A felon already. But on top of that, his name's all over them files. He knew that if he did not get back in office, he was going down along with the rest of them. Go figure. Because Kamala Harris is like smart, smart, smart lawyer. So yeah, and prosecutor, you did fall for his lies. Oh man, I hope people wake up. I hope more people wake up. You're back. Welcome back, Mr. Andy. Like for real. That I don't have like I don't have a problem with the general public that's willing to admit that they were wrong. I don't want to be one of these people who's like, I can't forgive you. The people I can't forgive are the people with huge freaking platforms that pushed this one to the top, and like Joe Rogan, who already came back and said, oh, he's a liar, and backpedaled, but never once came out flat out and said in a public way, as big as he made it to get this man on this platform, literally, he did not. Tucker Carlson, too little too late, because you were a big supporter for the first term and the second term. Even Elon Musk, when he was like, oh, Trump this, Trump that, like, no. And now he's at the White House. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy beyond crazy. Hey, go live Vegas. So, we're at this place now where it's like we're dealing with this stuff. And there's one thing that I will say as a spiritual person and someone who's a psychic. I knew this all was coming. I don't think he won the election. I think Kamala Harris won the election. Like, I never asked the follow-up question, though, when I was asking about the election, who won? Oh, it was God. Kamala Harris won. I never asked who's taking office because I didn't think it would have to be, because we've never been faced with that ever, ever, ever in our lifetimes. In my 5+ decades on this planet, we've never ever had to worry about interference, election interference, the way we experienced it in 2024. But hey, we're here now. So what do we do? What do you guys do with all of the things that are happening right now? What are you doing with all of it? Have you accepted the fact that jobs aren't coming back the way they were, and that they have doctored and lied about the numbers from 2025, the amount of available jobs, and 2026? Do you know that all of that is a lie? And I'm not saying this stuff to scare you. I'm telling you guys there's an answer to it. But I want to know, have you accepted the fact that we are not living? Because I keep hearing people say things that wanted to know, like, when are we going to get back to normal? We are never going back to the way it was before. Too much has been destroyed. You guys are aware of that, right? Like, I heard it during COVID too, and I'm like, normal doesn't exist anymore. People wanted COVID to just disappear and everyone just go back out in the streets and do it. COVID changed our world and forever. It changed our world with what we were paying for homes. It changed our world with what we were paying for groceries. Those prices never came down, and now they're taking off again and taking care of me, only me. Perfect. And all we can do is change within ourselves. Now, back to, as a psychic, I always knew this was going to happen. As far as this thing that we're transitioning into, those of us who have vision and get messages and do our studies and all the things, we knew that there was a point in time when those who rule by ego, those who rule from a place of extraction and patriarchy and control and manipulation, would not last. That there would come a day when that system would die and a new system would replace it. We also knew, and I'll tell you, like, this has everything to do with my cancer journey, which is why I started with that story. We also knew that when that system fell apart and the new one was going to be built, there was going to be a messy middle that we all had to go through that was going to be super uncomfortable. But we don't change when we're comfortable. We change when we're not comfortable. That is when we're pushed into change. If any of you guys know someone that needs to hear the message about what we're talking about tonight, would you please share the video out? I would appreciate it. And if you are watching, make sure you hit the likes on TikTok, the like on YouTube, and on Facebook, and drop a comment in, because that helps the platforms push me out. I'm here for you guys, but I need you to help me help as many people as I can, because right now there's a lot of people that are scared and they don't understand that we're not stuck in this place of suffering. It's going to be uncomfortable for a little while, but what's coming is different, and it's being built right now in sort of the underground. It's not obvious what's being built. And for people who are used to relying on and being dependent upon these old structures that are dying, they need to hear this, because they need to get a few steps ahead of the crowd. I told you so, Carter Mency. I'm not saying I told you so. When I was going through my chemotherapy, I think I was like, maybe I was in the hospital. So I think it was my first treatment. I literally, I don't remember, and I might get the timing off, just because, like I was telling my dad today, the 16 months of treatment and all up until 2 months ago, my brain was not firing the way it normally fires. It's just now starting to catch up to speed the way I'm used to having a brain that works. Like, I've always been a super fast thinker. I've always been able to process things at an incredible pace and then break it down into very simple, understandable ways for people, right? You're telling I told you so. I know, right? Um, so I haven't had my brain, and I don't remember everything. Like, it's just, it takes a long time once you come out of treatment for your body to start to repair. But my brain's coming back. It's not 100% yet, but man, we're getting there. I can think, I can speak. I'm not like reaching for the words that should be there, because I have a fairly decent sized vocabulary, but there was times during chemo that I was just like, "What's that word?" It was a simple word, but it's amazing what happens when you have brain fog and neurological deficit because of toxins you're putting in your body and cancer. So, anywho, during that time when I was in the hospital, it was either the first or the second hospital admittance. Um, I asked God, like, why am I going through this? Like, what have I done? Every time you go through something big, whether it's divorce or cancer, we tend to ask that question, why me? How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? Put in the comments. Have you asked when you're going through something hard, lose your job, lose your relationship, end up with a shitty diagnosis, right? The first thing you start asking is, why me? Why me? Why is this happening to me? Why me, not my next door neighbor? What have I done? I've been a good person. Like, why me? I asked that question. Like so many of us, when something bad happens, we immediately are like, tell me why. Tell me why so I can fix it, first of all, but also tell me why so that um it doesn't have to keep happening like this. Thankfully, you're having more clarity. No, me too. I like it when my brain works because then I can create things and I can actually operate on the level and the speed at which I'm used to. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Deborah. Anywho, so I asked that, and this is what Spirit told me. Just a reminder for all of you, because I think you need to hear it if you have heard this before. Spirit said you are going to go through this process of full deconstruction. It's not going to be comfortable, it's going to be painful. But it's been so many years since you've learned how to be intentional and how to be conscious. It's been so many years since you've really had to face your own limiting beliefs because you've worked on them all these years that you've been helping people and that you've been awake and doing this work, that the only way for you to help people through what's coming. Mind you, this is 2024. Now, I've known about what's coming for many, many years, back when I was 26, 27 years old, had lots of visions about that. And I've spoken about that and wrote about it in my book. But they're like, we're here now. So you're going to go through it first. And then you will lead those, the masses, whoever comes to you, when they have to go through it. And they're not going to have to go through it like with cancer, but this is going to feel personal and you have to go through it. So deconstruction after a crisis, get through it. And then there will be a period of rebuilding, recovery first, and then rebuilding. I always want to leave out the recovery thing. Such a common thing. How many of y'all always forget about recovery? We go, crisis, problem, deconstruction, rebuilding. We forget about recovery. And recovery was a big, long process, and I'm still in it. It hasn't gone anywhere. Like, I'm still in my recovery mode. I'm not fully there. My kidneys they're permanently damaged because of the stent I had put in that the doctor did not want to take out. But he was forced to take it out. He was the reason I was hospitalized the second time. Because I was literally peeing quarts of blood. And he was like, no, we have to keep it in. No, take it out. Literally, take it out. And then by then it was just so far gone. My condition was bad. Anywho, what Spirit said was, what's coming, and this was 2 years ago, what's coming is going to put people into crisis and survival mode. They're gonna be scared. They're not gonna understand fully what's happening, and nobody wants to go through a deconstruction phase. Is that true or not true? Was Spirit lying? Nobody wants to go through a deconstruction. We've already had the crisis. He's sitting in the freaking White House with his crooked administration. Anyone disagree on that? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Like, I'll wait. Oh, wait. You guys agree? Put I agree in the comments. Growth is always uncomfortable. I mean, we're not the deconstruction isn't even about growth. I mean, it is the outcome from deconstruction, but during the deconstruction phase of anything that we go through, we're not growing, we're regressing. We're clearing the foundation for something new. And that's the part I think most people are resisting. Is like they want the new. Don't we all? I want the new. You're like a kid at Christmas. Now, 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 now. And that's kind of the mindset that the world has gotten into because of social media. It's gotten worse. Immediate gratification. Now, 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 now. No pain, no suffering. Y'all agree? Pat Singer agree on TikTok, Cartomancy on YouTube. Cool. Thank you. So we're in the deconstruction. And for some people, that means they don't have jobs. For some people, they lost their health care. For some people, they're losing their homes because they lost their jobs. They're having to move in with family. For other people, they're having to work 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends barely meet and running shit up on their credit cards that they aren't gonna be able to pay for. Like, that's what's happening as far as our personal experience. But what's happening under the surface of everything, all the bad stuff, Epstein files, government corruption, grifting, things that we didn't know about, like Palantir, military things, things with Jesus's home country, the big I, like all these things that have been happening have been excavated and brought to the surface. And they cannot be removed until we're aware of them. And now, like every week, we're finding new things. We're finding out new things. And it's like, oh my God, I can't take anymore. So many people are like, I'm so overwhelmed, I can't take it. Yeah, I get it. But you don't need to be overwhelmed. Understand this stuff was going on before. It's kind of like racism. Racism, people are like, people are so racist nowadays. No, they always were. They just weren't emboldened to be outwardly, openly that way. But now they have permission, right? It's acceptable. But it's always been there. It never went away, even with civil rights movements. This administration got rid of DEI and all these other things, and now women's rights are under attack. People's genders are under attack. People's sexual preferences are under attack. Their religions are under like everybody's rights are under attack. And I get it. It can be overwhelming because it's so much at one time. But it's kind of like, when you go to reorganize like your kitchen or your closet, the only way to do it is you have to pull everything out. Everything has to come out. Got to deep clean before you put it back and keep what's good and throw the rest away. That's a process, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. I'm getting ready to do that damn process on both my closet and my kitchen. Maybe that's why that image popped up in my head. Anywho, I just did it with my makeup drawer. My makeup, I have like one of those caddies that has several little drawers. I just threw away a bunch of stuff this weekend. In order to properly clean something, you have to take everything out and see what's there. And a lot of this stuff's been hiding in the drawers. We didn't know it was there. A lot of people didn't know it was there. Some of us knew. Some of us were well aware how bad it was. But it wasn't so bad where it was affecting everybody and they weren't doing things openly. They didn't openly talk about the surveillance that started against the American people in on 9/11 and how that ushered in this whole surveillance state, and it's only gotten worse, not better, right? That was a long time ago. 9/11 was how many years ago? It's been over 2 decades now, and it's just gotten progressively worse. But did we know about Palantir and how embedded they are until the orange one got into office? No, we did not. not how much control they had over our data. And then now they're just like, here, this week, 22 freaking point manifesto on their expectations and basic lack of humanity of how we're supposed to be treated like cattle. Have you guys seen that? Put it in the comments, yes or no. Have you seen the post from Palantir's founder, what they think that should happen? Like, one of those things is that everybody should serve in the military. Have you guys seen that this week? It's Wednesday and this shit came out already. You have not seen it. Let me see if I can find the actual document. Um, eh, eh, eh. Let me see if I can find it. We shall read it. We shall read it. Do you guys want me to read it? Summary of Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir's manifesto. 22 bullet points. Are you guys going to list all 22, hopefully? Because, I mean, you guys need to hear this shit. All right. You've seen it? Yeah, it's disgusting. All right, so and this is from his book, right? Alex Karp's book. 22 points. They're not philosophy, just floating around in space. They are his public ideology. And this is from a company CEO whose revenue depends on the politics it's advocating. All right. Number 1, Silicon Valley owes a moral debt to the country that made its rise possible. Do you guys want me to share these on screen? I don't know how I can do that, but I will try. I think I can share my screen. Do you guys want to see it as I read it? Yes or no? Because I'll put it up as we go through it if you want to actually see it. Let's see if I can. If I can share my screen. Okay, hold on. Where did it go? Oh, yes, here you are. I'm gonna do it because I think you need to see it. You guys see it? Hold on. I was still trying to get my other window that disappeared up. Okay. You guys got it? Can you see it? Hopefully you can. All right. So Silicon Valley owes a moral debt to the country that made its rise possible. The engineering elite of Silicon Valley has an affirmative obligation to participate in the defense of the nation. Like, excuse me? What? Like, what's that even mean, dude? Right? The engineering elite, that line bothers me a whole lot. Like, a whole lot. But whatever. To participate in the defense of a nation. You're a corporation. You are not our military. So, no, you do not have some moral debt, especially when you have no morals. Just an observation. Pipe in when you guys want. Number 2, we must rebel. Okay, I don't know if you guys are not seeing the full. Hold on. Oh, I can't make it any different for you guys on TikTok. Anyhow, we must rebel against the tyranny of the apps. Is the iPhone our greatest creative, if not crowning achievement as a civilization? You've got to be freaking kidding me. The object has changed our lives, but it may also now be limiting and constraining our sense of the possible. Number 3, free email is not enough. The decadence of a culture or civilization, and indeed its ruling class, will be forgiven only if that culture is capable of delivering economic growth and security for the public. We're supposed to believe that Alex Karp and Palantir is even capable of delivering anything but selfishness for themselves, like things for themselves. Like you're talking about the decadence of the ruling class. You are part of the ruling class. Who are you freaking kidding? Like, who are you kidding? Oh my God. All right. Number 4, we're at the top. The limits of soft power, of soaring rhetoric alone have been exposed. This is like so hypocritical. I don't even know how to handle this. The ability of free and democratic societies to prevail requires something more than moral appeal. It requires hard power. And hard power in this century will be built on software. Again, this is Palantir's CEO, y'all. The people who are under the control of our military, foreign surveillance, and American citizen surveillance. They're the ones who built the systems, who even the police use. Project Maven. You don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. Number 5, the question is not whether AI weapons will be built. It is who will build them and for what purpose. Our adversaries will not pause to indulge in theatrical debates about the merits of developing technologies with critical military and national security applications. They will proceed. Like, dude, they won't see it coming and will not hear the sound. Yeah, I know. Number 6. This is the one that gets me. Okay. National service should be a universal duty. We should, as a society, seriously consider moving away from an all volunteer force and only fight the next war if everyone shares in the risk and the cost. Now, Alex Karp and Peter Thiel, both of Palantir. I don't know about Alex Karp, but I know Peter Thiel is not even an American citizen. He's from South Africa. AI weapons are already built and in use. Exactly. Yeah. Like, who are you to be saying what our politics, our policy should be here in the US when you, sir, aren't even from here originally? But hey, whatever. All right, that's number 6. Number 7, if a US Marine asks for a better rifle, we should build it. And the same goes for software. I don't know if you guys are understanding what's happening right now in Iran, but our military members are not even like they're rationing food. The food that they are getting right now, and it's been shared all over social media. This is a wonderful thing about social media that wasn't present during the Vietnam War. We can see everything that's going on. Everything that's going on, right? Everything. Literally, the BS that is happening to the US Marines and the Army and the Navy and the Air Force, like, come on. For them to be saying we should, him to be saying we should as a country be capable of continuing debate without the appropriateness of military action abroad while remaining unflinching in our own commitment to those we have asked to step into harm's way. You just want to make more money off of us. And you're trying to validate the software that you guys have, which is used in the military, but whatever. Number 8, public servants need not be our priests. Now, pay attention to this one. Any business that compensated its employees in the way that the federal government compensates public servants would struggle to survive. They stopped the flu vaccines for the military. Yeah, there's that too. Like this whole crap, this number 8 thing bugs me because there's something pretty devious under it, but yeah, I won't stop there. We should, number 9, show far more grace towards those who have subjected themselves to public life. Now, this just goes to the Epstein class all the way. The eradication of any space for forgiveness, a jettisoning of any tolerance for the complexities and contradictions of the human psyche may leave us with a cast of characters at the helm we will grow to regret. Dude, we already do regret, but you're saying have more grace towards them because they're in the public. No, they should be held to higher standards because they are the ones leading us through stuff. Number 10, the psychologization, sorry about that, of modern politics is leading us astray. Those who look to the political arena to nourish their soul and sense of self, who rely too heavily on their internal life, finding expression in people they may never meet, will be left disappointed. Like, dude, what are you talking about? I digress. Number 11, our society has grown too eager to hasten and is often gleeful at the demise of its enemies. The vanquishing of an opponent is a moment to pause, not rejoice. You are like speaking out of both sides of your mouth, Mr. Carp, Mr. Palantir. You are literally speaking out of both sides of your ass right now. On one side, you're saying, we got to have military weapons. And then the other side, you're like, oh, it's a moment of pause. Don't rejoice. And yet you build software that AI decides whose life is worth something and whose isn't. Like, number 12, the atomic age is ending. One age of deterrence, the atomic age one age of deterrence, the atomic age is ending, and a new era of deterrence built on AI is set to begin. How convenient for you, Palantir. 13, no other country in the history of the world has advanced progressive values more than this one. Debatable. United States is far from perfect, we know, but it is easy to forget how much opportunity exists in this country for those who are not hereditary elites than in any other nation on the planet. What he's basically saying is for us tech bros who didn't come from money, there's opportunity here, especially with AI and software. 14, American power has made possible an extraordinarily long peace. Too many have forgotten or perhaps take for granted that nearly a century of some version of peace has prevailed in the world without a great military power conflict. At least 3 generations, billions of people and their children, and now grandchildren, have never known a world war. We should be grateful for that. Do I need to go on? Do you guys want me to keep reading this? Those of you who have not seen this before, or do you want me to stop? Put in the comments. I'm going to keep going until you answer me in the comments. It pisses me off. 15. The post-war neutering of Germany and Japan must be undone. The defanging of Germany was an overcorrection for which Europe is now paying a heavy price. He is talking about what happened during the Holocaust. Got to be careful how I word this shit. The defanging of Germany was an overcorrection. A similar and highly theatrical commitment to Japanese pacifism will, if maintained, also threaten to shift the balance of power in Asia. 16. We should applaud those who attempt to build where the market has failed to act. The culture almost snickers at Musk's interest in grand narrative, as if billionaires ought to simply stay in their lane of enriching themselves. Any curiosity or genuine interest in the value of what he has created is essentially dismissed, or perhaps lurks from beneath a thinly veiled scorn. So we should celebrate Elon Musk and how he co-opted the election results, how all of these billionaires are ruining our lives, along with building data centers that need tons of water and power. We should celebrate them because, they built where the market failed to act. So let's celebrate Karp and Thiel and Musk. No. 17, Silicon Valley must play a role in addressing violent crime. Why must Silicon Valley? Why? Question for you guys. Why? Many politicians across the United States have essentially shrugged when it comes to violent crime, abandoning any serious efforts to address the problem or take on any risk with their constituencies or donors and coming up with solutions and experiments in what should be a desperate bid to save lives. Are we supposed to believe they care about saving lives? Like, are we supposed to believe that Alex Karp and Peter Thiel, who have outright said multiple times publicly that data can be relied upon, humans can't? Are we supposed to believe they actually care about saving anybody's lives? Just asking for a friend. I know, I'm pissed too, Cardamency. 18. The ruthless exposure of the private lives of public figures drives far too much talent away from government service. The public arena, now I want you to think Epstein files. The public arena and the shallow and petty assaults against those who dare to do something other than enrich themselves has become so unforgiving that the Republic is left with a significant roster of ineffectual empty vessels whose ambition one would forgive if there were any genuine beliefs structure lurking within. You want us to believe, Mr. Karp, that it's just because y'all want to enrich yourselves, we just need to shut up, sit down, and let you do whatever the hell. I know they generate violent crimes. Like, this is so ridiculous. Why I wanted to see if you guys actually read this shit. 19. Because remember, Palantir has your information. Palantir is surveying you. Palantir software is used in police stations across the globe, not just the US. Okay. Flock cameras? Yeah. Anywho. 19. The caution in public life that we unwittingly encourage is corrosive. Those who say nothing wrong often say nothing much at all. Dude, go ahead, justify your bullshit. 20. The pervasive intolerance of religious belief in certain circles must be resisted. The elite's intolerance of religious belief is perhaps one of the most telling signs that its political project constitutes a less open intellectual movement than many within it would claim. Now, mind you, Karp does not believe in God, and he's saying, like, the elites, you are one of the elites. Like, who are you kidding, dude? The corruption has never been so blatant. I know, it's scary. 21, we're almost done. Some cultures have produced vital advances, others remain dysfunctional and regressive. Interesting, he calls it cultures. He doesn't want to say the word race, but that is what he's saying. All cultures are now equal. Criticism and value judgments are forbidden. Yet this new dogma, calls that dogma, glosses over the fact that certain cultures and indeed subcultures have produced wonders. Others have proven middling and worse, regressive and harmful. They want nothing more than people that just look like them and think like them. Just saying. We must resist the shallow temptation of a vacant and hollow pluralism. We, in America, and more broadly in the West, have for the past half century resisted defining national cultures in the name of inclusivity. But inclusive into what? There it is. Your 22 points. Like, it's so freaking ridiculous that, like, it was released this week, like they made it public, and reading those 22 points, I was like, it's double speak, number one, because he is an elite. His company, him and Peter Thiel's little company, are responsible for more BS software. Thank you, Andy. That has ruined people's lives and continue to ruin people's lives. Facial recognition software, the things they used for the immigrants, the like all of this shit, predicting crime ahead of time. Like, but we can't question anyone who's in public life because they're doing such a great service. And we should actually, some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community's experience. You've been doing that to me all day. I never asked you to do that, TikTok. I think my community can handle it just fine. Stop blocking comments. Now I remember what I was saying. I want you guys to understand, as overwhelming as this shit is, we have to know where they stand and what they're trying to push through, because a bunch of legislation right now is trying to be pushed through to uphold the very things that he's talking about. The elite continue to not have to pay the consequences for anything they've done, right? Because they're in public service. Like, as if that's a hall pass to being a criminal. Like, suddenly in America, that's your hall pass because we've had a freaking felon and all of his cronies put into the White House. And we're all supposed to just go on business as usual and not question it. Like I said before I started reading the 22 points, all of this stuff is coming up so that we can do something about it. We can't fix something or change something if we don't know that it exists. And all of this stuff's been going on. Palantir was funded originally, do your research, originally seeded by venture capitalist money. But guess who the venture capitalist was? Some of you know this. Put it in the comments if you know. Who started and seeded Palantir? Peter Thiel and Alex Karp's corporation that's so hell-bent on surveillance. You guys know who seeded that with venture capitalist money? Angel investor? Right after 9/11. They've been around that long. It was the CIA. And that is public record. It's not hard to find. Go look it up. The CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. Our government seeded that company. Private owners, because they needed a corporation to be the fall guy in case there was enough pushback, but there hasn't been pushback. Hasn't been enough pushback. Truly. This is the crap we've been dealing with all this freaking time. Everyone needs to be aware of all the stuff. The fact that Crash Patel is like being investigated for having an alcohol problem, when we've all seen the videos from when he was at the Olympics. He flew there on our dime. He spent millions of dollars. Had to take 14 planes for the food and all the vehicles, all the stuff, just to go watch the Olympics. Never, ever in the history of the United States have we had more corrupt spending of taxpayer dollars for luxuries and nonsense, including Cosplay Christie's bullshit with the airplanes. Like, it's over the top. I don't know why TikTok's like literally blocking comments, y'all, filtering them to protect our community's experience, but they are. So I can't see your comments if they block them. Is what it is, right? They've been doing it. They've been folding all of my comments the last 3 days for the posts that I've been putting up on TikTok. They keep folding my comments. But they got rid of Petty Betty this week. Like, a bunch of the creators that are left leaning are getting deleted off the platform. Y'all know where to find me, right? Like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, my own website, Substack. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. I'm on everywhere. So make sure you know Bernadette Gold, and the number 1 is usually how you find me on all those platforms. But just in case, just saying, just in case. I'm not doing anything wrong, but I don't think Petty Betty was either. She was just telling the truth. And apparently truth telling gets you banned from TikTok. What's funny is the post I made today, earlier today, which was a reply to a very, very racist comment that I got on a video that had close to 300,000 views on it from about the plastics. I got more engagement on Facebook, which is unheard of, from strangers than I did on TikTok. And for hours, my videos will say 0 views, no comments until I click on it. And there's actually a ton of views and comments, but TikTok's making it seem like nobody's watching. Like, so I know they're suppressing me, and that's okay. That's cool. Do your thing, TikTok. Like, you do you. It's not gonna make me shut up. I will always tell the truth. So make sure you follow me on YouTube because the censorship over there is nowhere near. I don't think I've never had a problem over on YouTube. I've never really truly never had a problem even on Facebook. I thought Facebook was bad, but TikTok has become harsh since Oracle took over, Larry Ellison, and since they took over ownership, it's been horrible. Horrible. I thought they were the transparency party. Who? The Republicans? No, that was the lie they were sold. They are so not transparent. I mean, if the Epstein files didn't teach like everybody that, I don't know how to get people to see the truth. And I don't care if they do. I care that the people who want the truth get to see the truth, hear the truth, and be informed of the truth. The more we know what is true, the more we can stand A on the right side of history and B push back against the crap that they're doing. And the crap that they're doing right now is highly illegal. I know it's a joke. Literally. Like everything they're doing is so illegal. But like every other thing Trump gets involved with, it like his first term, he thinks that he's Humpty Dumpty. Like a weeble wobble, he won't fall down. He usually just lets all the king's horses and all the king's men take the fall for him. I think eventually they're all gonna go down because that is what we're moving towards. If you are in Hidden Wisdom and you watch the monthly forecast and the yearly forecast, y'all know everything I predicted is pretty much already happening. I've seen it in the news today where they were talking about how um, the connection between BB and the orange one is literally falling apart, and that the military action and support from the US will no longer be there, that there's this big breaking apart and a breakup. I predicted that. We will see that. There is hope. Right? There's hope. GOP chairman of House Oversight has canceled all hearings. They want to suppress the truth. How can he do that, Andy? How can the GOP within the House Oversight cancel the hearings? Like, this is when literally we need to hit the streets and not go home until this shit is dealt with. Like every other country would do that. I understand that the US is larger than a lot of these countries where you see mass protests and a million people fill the streets in one little town square. Like I get it. We have a long ways to travel to get to DC, but we can do it the way we've been doing. These No Kings rallies that happen once a quarter is not enough, y'all. I can't wait for them to storm the White House and haul them all out. It's not going to happen if we don't do something ourselves. Like people have stopped calling, people have stopped, like I said, quarterly protests, that ain't good enough. It's not good enough. It's not enough. All of us have to pull our money away from these large corporations. We have to stay on top of what's happening in our local communities with flock cameras and surveillance. And we need to push back against our own city councils and our state legislature. Like I live in Texas and shit is so corrupt here. It's not even funny. I can't wait for the midterms so that we can get Hot Wheels out of here because he has destroyed this state in so many ways. I know a lot of people like him that are on his side of the party, but the average person knows he's full of shit and he kowtows to the billionaires in Texas. That's never changed and it probably never ever will. And that's okay too. Anywho, I am getting ready to start recording the second series for my new podcast. If you have not watched the first series, it is full, it is dropped. It was released on the 11th, and it is all about the attack on the middle class and how to survive it, right? Even if you're not an executive or professional, like, listen, read between the lines. I'm speaking to everybody. In the second series, I'm going to talk about the solutions that are already in existence, solutions that people have not thought of, things that we can do to take the power away from the super elite and the super wealthy and ensure that we have what we need moving forward. This period we're going through of deconstruction will continue for a while, and I'll continue talking about it in such a way that you guys have ways to handle it. But I've been creating something for everybody that is very useful and perfect for this time because Spirit told me to do it. And it's a big endeavor and it's a big project for me. But I got the first part of it done and completed, finalized yesterday. I'm not going to release it until all the pieces are in place. And I took Andy through it yesterday. Um, And it's a income generation, like an income archetype quiz is what it's called. Like it's to help you understand what archetype you are and if you have what it takes to generate income on your own outside of the system. And it's very deep, like every freaking thing I do and create. It's very deep. It's very in depth. And the way I created the scoring system, and I've created many versions of this, iterated many versions of this until I got it exactly the way I wanted and tested it, and it works and it works the way I want. And it's very, very accurate. So it's not just a normal quiz, but it's completely free. So I created that free quiz. It'll be available. I'll let you guys know when it drops. Beyond that, I'm also creating a blueprint for people, a system that I've been using with my private clients. Um, but I'm gonna release it. I've taken people through this and done it for them and with them. Andy's saying the quiz was super accurate. But I've never, like, just had people go through it on their own, so I'm having to go and really kinda dumb down the directions and instructions, um, so that anyone can do it on their own, and it's pretty intense. I mean, I'm creating a whole blueprint that has, like, 11 sections to it. And it's only gonna be $57. Like, I could sell the thing for $200. I'm selling it for $57 because I wanna help people. That's almost done, but I need to test it on multiple cases, people that are tech savvy, people that are not tech savvy, and make sure that it is exactly the way I want it to be and that the output is exactly the way I want it to be. Like I said, I've been doing this myself with clients. I've never, like, opened it up for people to do on their own, so it's taking a lot because I'm having to create, like, programming for it, to help the process along. So that's comes after this income architect quiz, which is archetyped. I keep saying architect. Income archetype quiz, like Andy said, it's super accurate. The income generator blueprint, like, that's pretty cool. And then after that, um, once you figure out what you can do to create income on your own, I'm also creating something that comes on the back end step by step. Mind you, I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years, more than 30 years, and I've run people's businesses, right? So literally my vast knowledge I'm dumping into a foundations for starting a business, like as a solopreneur or a small business, how to do it step by step by step, from how to set the business up properly to how to find your clients or customers, how to market yourself, how to handle social media, and how to get the attention you want on social media. Like, I've been in marketing for a very long time. That was the corporate job I left when I was 28 and I'm 59. I was the director of business development. I ran the marketing and sales team for a large leasing company. And before that, I was in marketing and sales as well for a number of years. So this has been like always. And when you're an entrepreneur, run your own business, you have to do marketing. So it doesn't have to be hard. And if you know what you're doing, it's amazing. So all of that is, I have to put all those pieces together in order so that once I release the quiz and the blueprint, y'all have like everything available to you step by step by step. And then once it is all released, I'm going to be doing weekly live streams for free for anyone to come in, and whatever questions you have, you can get them answered during the live stream. Of course, people who took the foundations course, which is step-by-step video course, do it yourself, um, they will be prioritized as me answering their questions, but anyone can join those. So, oh, 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 I lost my TikTok. What's happening? What? Are we back on? I don't know what happened. TikTok. Like, what just happened? Can you guys see me and hear me on TikTok? And can you see me and hear me on YouTube and Facebook? It said my connection was lost, which I think is a streaming issue, not a me issue. You can see me. Yeah. So I think Restream dropped it and then brought it back. Anyways, so that's what I've been doing. I'm in creation mode because my brain is working. I can actually put together things because I have seen nothing but video after video after video of people that are like, I lost my job. Like, we are going through the largest job layoff in the last 14, 15, 16 months than we have. I'm okay on YouTube. Thank you, Carter Messi. Thought they were taking you. I was a little afraid for a minute, but no, Restream came up and said, oops, lost connection, reconnecting now. So it was a Restream issue, not a me issue, and not a platform issue. Thank you. You never know. Anytime they've shut me down before, it's always been just like, bye. And my stream just disappears. And there's nothing I can do about it. Anyways, do you guys think that that would be helpful? The blueprint, the archetype quiz. Do you guys think it would be useful and helpful to you? Especially the archetype quiz, just to start, like the free quiz, knowing what your income archetype is. Any of you who have done my quizzes in the past, you know when I make archetype quizzes, they're freaking amazing and straight up real and authentic and accurate. And I don't do anything half-ass. I don't think it's in my blood. The only thing I half-ass is when I take care of me. But like when it's for other people, it is always over the top, over delivered. Always. Always. So I'm kind of excited to release it because, like Andy said, I had Andy take it yesterday before I did the last iteration, just to make sure that the scoring was right. Because I know who he is. I've been coaching him for 3 years. And he took it and it was accurate. And literally, there's a line in the archetype that he got from him answering it and going through the quiz. That's something that literally just hit home, you know, right to the heart. And I always aim to make the things that I make to lock them in so that it's very, very accurate for all of you. So, like, even the blueprint, the way that the blueprint is and the way I'm designing it and coding it, it is so good so far. And I mean, like, I've been doing this for years for people, but to put this into a course that people can take that helps them dial in out of the box income generating ideas, um, based on who they are, what their life actually requires and demands, what they want, what they don't want, things that make them happy. Like, y'all have no idea. When I've taken people through this, it has opened up things that they thought I could never get paid doing, and then turn around and make huge amounts of money because they love what they're doing. That's the energy it takes. So your vibe goes up. But on top of that, it's like your soul finally gets a voice in what you're doing. And then you're no longer like dependent on the global or the corporations and the greed. And that's the thing I'm telling you guys right now. We need to start thinking outside of the old structures. And I'm seeing too many people that are still hoping that they're going to get a call back from the thousand applications they put in. If you haven't heard anything about a job by now, like, come on, come on, stop sending resumes in, do something different. And a lot of people have said to me and messaged me and been like, I'd love to work for myself. I'd love to have control over my destiny and my income. I wouldn't know what to offer. That's where this came from and why I decided I'm just going to take the work that I've been doing with people and package it in such a way, walk people through step by step in a portal on my website so everybody can have this for themselves and not try to make a fortune off of it. I know I could if I wanted to. Make it affordable, right? Make it affordable and available to as many people as possibly I can. So I'm excited, but that's why my head's been down. I've been really busy. I've been busy and I have clients and Costco's and things to do. But on this 2-year anniversary, cancerversary, I had to come on because this is my normal live stream night and just tell you guys what's going on and encourage you to celebrate your milestones, celebrate the little things, keep your eyes open, keep pushing back against the stuff. I made a video today that was in reply to a very racist comment. Um, and some of my family in Hawaii were like, "You don't have to, you don't have to defend yourself. Like, let those people scroll past." For any of you guys that saw that video reply to the guy who was like, "Who's this Chinese?" Blah blah blah. If you saw that video, you're probably gonna see more like that. For this reason, if you're a content creator, ears open. People can continue to get away with this kind of rhetoric and bullshit because people remain silent. We've all been taught just be quiet and let it go. There's a time and a place for being quiet and letting it go. Now, I'm not Chinese, so, no big deal. But even if I was, it wouldn't be a big deal. It says more about the person than it says about me. However, and that was on the post about plastics and food costs and everything else. But he left that comment today. There are too many people with platforms and voices remaining silent about a number of issues, from politics to the ICE raids to the downright rude racism and attacks on minority communities. And if everybody were just quiet while they went along their merry way and were rude, like, we are condoning it and you're complicit in your silence. I will not be complicit in my silence. I will stand up for myself and anyone else. And I'm not going to let this hate go by without bringing it out. You have the balls to leave a comment with your handle, your social media handle on my post. Game on. Hold my beer, even though I don't drink. Because now everyone knows who you are. And your comment that got lost in 1,500 other comments is now out there for all the world to see. So you think you can get away with this shit? You think it's okay to call people names? You think it's okay to make fun of other races because you're emboldened by an orange buffoon? Cool. But what you post publicly gets replied to. And I'm not going to stay silent for that reason. And I know lots of people are like, "Oh, don't get worked up." No, I am worked up. Because there are a lot of Asians that have been harmed physically, mentally, and emotionally throughout history, but especially in the last 10 years. in this country. Silence is not golden, it's complicity. Democracy is a participation sport. And right now, telling the truth and speaking the truth and giving voice to those who don't have one, it's part of what being a spiritual being is all about. We are all one. We are all equal. And if we are wanting, like be politically correct. I hear this from a bunch of people in my high performance community too, and in all of the trainings that they do. I'm like, don't get involved in politics. This is no longer about politics, people. This is about life. This is about livelihood for people. If I have to lose some freaking clients, potential clients, but even clients, because of my beliefs in treating people properly and having values and morals, so be it. I'm not here to achieve fame and fortune. I'm here to actually help people. I'm not here just to make a quick buck. I'm here to help people. I get paid for it. Yes. But if me speaking truth and standing up against hate, standing up for minorities and those who don't have a voice and have been silenced over and over and over again is going to cost me some business, that's fine. I'd rather be true to my values and my morals and who I really am than to be silent and a coward for money. Something so temporary and so I won't go there. Anywho. So y'all, like if you're following me, you're gonna hear the truth out of my mouth. I expose shit. And I don't play. And my feelings aren't hurt because I know who I am. Your feelings can only get hurt, A, if your ego's involved. Truly. If your ego's involved. And B, if you're taking it personally. I learned not to take shit personal a long ass time ago. Something that age delivers to you. Stop giving a damn about what other people think. The only time that I care about what other people think is if I know I stepped out of line and I did something hurtful. That's when I care. But I do my damn best to stay conscious and intentional so it never leads to that. Once in a while it will. Then I am the first person to apologize and take responsibility for what I did. And the consequences of my actions, my words, I will pay them. I'm not someone who thinks that I'm unaccountable and above everybody else. I'm not. I answer to one, supreme source energy. That's where I get my directives. And for a lot of people, they don't understand that. Thanks, Sandy, for thanking everybody. Thanks for the 25,000 likes, y'all. So yeah, as my brain comes back, my energy comes back, my fire and my Sagittarius fire and Aries fire, probably even more amplified right now when we've got so many planets stacking up in Aries right now. And that's my rising sign. Like for real, my fire that I have not felt for years because I was sick for that long, literally is coming back. There's a lot of me that has been so like just grasping and holding on with my knuckles to get through the recovery period and rebuilding phase coming out of cancer. It's really nice to have, like, to recognize when I look in the mirror, when I hear myself talk, when I'm in my own head. It's really nice to have access to the things I thought you're never going to get your brain back. For 2 years, I thought, oh my God, this is my brain now. Like, this is it. It's never coming. Like, it's taken a lot of work to get everything back after the cancer. And not everything's back. I still have neuropathy. I still have weight problems. I still have digestive issues, right? But the little things I will celebrate. I still can't tell half the time that I'm hungry or that I'm full because that broke with the chemo and the radiation. Like I can feel it once I am full, but like the nerve signaling from my gut to my brain that says, okay, you've had enough, or hey, Bernadette, you really, really need to eat. That signaling got disrupted during chemo and radiation. So, like, the only way that I know I have to eat, A, I start getting really lightheaded and shaky, or B, my stomach will growl and I can hear it growling. And I'm like, oh, that must mean I'm hungry. Brain building is such hard work. Carmen, I know you know what I'm talking about. So, it's taken this long, and then I've accepted the fact that, okay, well, then you're just gonna have to pay attention, and really, like, how do you feel? Can you like, when I stand up and everything starts to get the little white, whirlies, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking when you're gonna pass out because you haven't eaten for a long time, your blood sugar's gone. I shouldn't make it get that far, but, like, when you don't have the nerve signaling to your brain that says, "Hey, you need to eat, you're hungry," it's really weird. It's really weird. But I'll tell you guys, my sardine fast has been off the chart amazing. Like 9 pounds down, holding steady, still going up and down a pound depending on what I'm eating. I am My energy's starting to come back too from doing the intermittent fasting, and I'm still doing sardines, mostly seafood. I'm not eating any carbs other than what's in vegetables and some walnuts. Um, I feel great. Like, it's crazy. I feel great. Highly recommend it to anybody that really wants to kickstart their journey of weight loss because it does get your metabolism kicked in. I am taking supplements to help with that too, but it's all resetting after not literally not being able to get anything to move since January. Like, since January, I've not been able to get my weight to go down. It's kept going up, and I'm like, "This is crazy." And I wasn't even eating that much. So that's been reset as well. Life in general, I think as shitty as things are going on in this country, life in general is good. And not because out there is good, because what's going on in here and in here is good. Remember that. Doesn't matter what's going on out there, you can still be having a good time. I was telling Andy today, like, it's been the best day. Me and Milo have been laughing. Look at him back there. He's just such a sweetheart. Mm, yes, so this is how he spends his day with me all the time. Comes out to grandma's office. Me and Milo have been having so much fun. It should be a sin. Like, having such a great time today. Going to Costco with my dad, such a great time today, you know? And the fact that I am 2 years from the day they told me I was stage 4. And I was like, "There's no stage 5 shit. This is real." Ugh. So, but here I am in ponytail and all. May not be a big deal to anybody, but when you've waited for 2 years to have a ponytail, and I used to wear my hair up in a clip all the freaking time, it's like today's a good day. For anyone who's been through chemo and lost all their hair, or you're growing your hair out right now, you know what I'm talking about. It's such a little thing to everyone else. It is such a big thing. It's a milestone that's like, "Oh, I really am getting better. Oh, my body really is regenerating. Oh, my hair's finally coming back." For the people who are bald, you start to think like, my hair is never coming back in. Never coming back. Life's over. Thankfully, I didn't go there. So, yeah. All right, you guys, I'll be back at some point. I have Charm Life coaching tomorrow, so it won't be tomorrow. Maybe Friday if I'm not knee deep in this project that I'm working on, or Saturday. What do I have this weekend? Yeah, I'll be back later in the week, and I'll share some more things with you. We'll see what other news comes up. Um, don't stay quiet right now. Speak your truth. Speak it out loud. And if you can't do it because you don't have a platform, share my videos out, please. And thank you. Share my podcast. I will be recording series 2 next week, but I'm like I was gonna drop a whole second series, and I think what I'm gonna do from here on out after the first series dropped 12 videos or 12 podcast episodes, I'm gonna do one episode at a time, um, like a week apart. But I gotta catch up on some things first, and I'm still waiting and letting this new podcast do its thing since I did drop 12 episodes at once. And if you haven't watched it, go find it on all of the platforms. It's called Bernadette Gold Unfiltered, and leave a comment, download the episodes, like it, share it, all the things. I really, really, really appreciate you guys. I love you. You have no idea. I love, love, love you, even if we've never met and we've only spoken through chat. Like, our hearts are big enough to love everybody. Love is a choice. And I choose just to love all of you. Love ya. Unless you're orange. Sorry. I can't do. The sarcastic queen in me honors the sarcastic queen in you. You guys have a good night. Happy Wednesday.